Hi there, moms and dads, it's me, and I'm going to be showing you a lesson today which I will be presenting to the children on Tuesday for our Sun morning group. The majority of the children in the class have already had this lesson, but a lot of times we go back and repeat things because we like to do them on a mastery basis. In other words, we want them to be completely confident in their skills before we move them along to another level. So I'm using this work mainly as a refresher of sorts, and it refreshes them in a lot of different areas in the math. This is a math work called Cards Encounters, and it does refresh them in a lot of different mathematical concepts. And right now, while they're not coming to school every day and they're doing their home-based work with you, which is super important as well, we just want to keep their little brains stimulated and keep these concepts as fresh as we can. So this is one way to do it. I kind of hemmed and hawed over which way to present this to you. I was either going to do the classical presentation and then explain it, or other way around, and I decided I'm going to explain it before I show you the lesson so that you kind of know what you're looking out for. Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. I'm actually going to also, I might have already sent home in one of your follow-up packets, a set of numerals. Looks like this, but I think they might be blue or something. It's just 1 through 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That you will need at home to replicate this work, and I will walk you through how to replicate it too. Okay, so let me talk you through Cards and Counters. It was called that originally because in Maria Montessori's time, these were little cards, and they called these counters. There you go. This is the traditional way it's presented with these little red wooden chips. However, because most of the children have had this presentation already, I am going to replace these with something I would call a point of interest, and that is a new item to count out. I chose little insects. They're wooden. They can be all the same. They can be different. It doesn't matter. You will have some children who would prefer that there was one of a ladybug and 2 caterpillars and 3. But I, for this sake, have mixed them all together. It is important that you have exactly 45 of these. 45, because 1 through 9, all of those numerals, that quantity together is 45. And having the exact amount is something that we call a control of error. That means that the child can self-correct. How could they self-correct? Because if they get to the end of the work and they have any left over, they go, oh, wait a minute, what's going on here? And they recheck and sometimes find their mistake. Or if they don't have enough, same thing. It kind of is something that it's self-teaching. It's a self-teaching material in a lot of ways. My job is simply to present it and to be the guide through this process. It is the material and the child that do most of the work. And that is true when you are giving them this at home as well. So you will notice that the first thing I do, I'll give the lesson to a pretend child when I do it for you. The first thing I'll do is try to get their interest and just kind of objectively observe what's on the rug. We will then lay out the numerals in order. So obviously the child needs to have pretty decent knowledge, linear knowledge of 1 through 9. In my class, almost every child has that down. They've all worked very hard on it this year. So if you have questions about your child specifically, call me or actually email me. That's probably best. So you're going to first and foremost have them lay these out in order across the top. Then what they do is under the 1, you will see me put 1 item. And then I'll do some talking. You can just hear what I say when I say it. But it's about, the crux of this work is that it actually is cementing the linear counting. It is also cementing the symbol to quantity. So you've got a symbol that says 8, and your child is learning how to match 8 items to this symbol. And it also, more importantly, is a very concrete presentation of odd and even numbers. So that's what I'm going to be pushing in this presentation, because from here I'd like to go ahead and maybe introduce those words. In the first presentation, you never even say odd and even. I might say it in my lesson because these children have all had this. But in the first presentation, you really are just showing them the difference between what an odd number and an even number have in common and don't have in common. And that is a partner. So you'll hear me talking about, oh, 1 does not have a partner. It's by itself. And then, look, 2 does it's a partner number. So odd and even, not even using the language all the time, it really is just the first concrete presentation of that concept. Let Let me think if there's anything else tip-wise I can give you about giving a lesson. Oh, I know. You'll notice also that I will watch my body posture, and anytime I'm giving a lesson, I will sit on the child's dominant side, so that I'll have them sit on my dominant side so that they can watch me using it, have the best vantage point right here. You'll also notice that I don't do idle talk much during presentations unless it's an older child or it's a language-heavy presentation. The classic presentations usually are silent. This one is not completely silent, but you will notice I don't talk the whole way through it. It's very much at pointed times. You also might notice that I won't do an action and speak at the same time. We want the child to be able to focus on what we're presenting instead of our voices. So if I speak, it will be after or before presenting something, and it will probably be very quietly. Anyway, I want to answer any questions you have about this, and I'm showing you this now so you can see me do it again on Tuesday morning and understand what I'm doing. Also, so that you can take the Cards and Counters printout I gave you at home and use it at home to cement this skill. We'll talk more about that after this presentation, but let me go ahead and I will invite my invisible child friend to come and sit with me. I'm hoping you guys can see this from right here. Yeah, it's not that, this is kind of difficult, and I'm going to try to make it so that you can see the majority of what I'm doing pretty clearly. I'll move back a little. And we're going to pretend like my little friend is right here next to me. And I have this material. I've brought it from the shelf. I've shown them where it lives on the shelf, and I've asked them to check their body and see if they're ready to concentrate. I also will say I'm going to make sure I am. Because of what I'm wearing today, I will sit on my knees. Generally speaking, I also will sit cross-legged. But today, just because I'm wearing a shorter dress, I will stay on my knees and, as still as I can, center myself before I start the lesson. Here we go. All right, well, good morning. I'm pretty excited to show you this lesson today. I've been watching you work in math, and I noticed you keep walking over to this little box on the shelf wondering what's in here, and I think today's the day we find out. Are you ready? Okay. What do I see? I see, yes, you're right. I do see an 8 and some other numerals as well. And what have we here? Yeah, I do. I see a ladybug, and an inchworm, insects. Well, today we are going to choose this Cards and Counters work together, and I would like to present it to you now. You're right, they are mixed up, aren't they? First, I think I'll make sense of those numerals. One. Yes, right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes. 4. That's good. What's after this is, oh, right, that's a 5. 6. Goodness, let's see if I can do it this way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. We always want to check our work. 1. 1. Whoop. Stop. Well, look at that. That number 1, he's awful lonely over there by himself. Only 1. He doesn't have a partner or a friend with him, does he? He's just, boop. Stop. Let's look at 2. 2. 1, 2. 2. Wow. Well, look at that. The 2 does have a partner, and it just goes and goes and goes, doesn't it? 1, 2. 2 is a partner number. I wonder about the next numeral. What do you think? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Oh, you were right. You were right. This is not a partner number. You have 1 at the bottom all by itself. 3 is not a partner number. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 4 is a partner number. Look at it. I can go all the way to the bottom of the rug. I wonder what you think about. Yeah, 5. 2. Ooh, let's neaten these guys up. 4 and 5. Oh, you already guessed, huh? Would you like to try tracing your finger down, and you can tell me if you think it is a partner number. Boop. Stop. You're right. 5 is not a partner number. Okay, Mom and Dad. So you get the idea here. I go on and on with that until I get to the 9. And let me show you it from my angle so you can kind of see. I apologize that it's not it's easier to see, you know, but as you can see, it kind of starts making this nice little grid pattern here, right? Also, never would they be this close together. Just for the sake of the camera, I did this. This would be over here, and the 9 would be in the other corner, and they would spread across the top. It makes a pretty beautiful spread, actually. Once they've laid the whole thing out, they will be able to point a pattern out to you. Patterning, obviously, is really important for early childhood and pretty much any stage of development because life is full of patterns and cycles. This pattern is no partner, partner, no partner, partner, no partner, partner. I will give them the verbiage on Tuesday of odd and even. I'll introduce that concept to them. Some of them have already had it. And a couple other things about this presentation that you might have noticed. Okay, here's one. I'm trying to think if that's something I'm going to actually use that you need to know about. Okay. Yeah, you probably noticed I don't talk and move my hands at the same time. Minimize distraction. That's very important. Another thing is your voice volume and your body and your outward appearance to the child. I mean, yeah, sure, my hair, you know, your craziness, whatever, that's fine. But more your energy. And I'm not even, like, energetically, if you are feeling frantic, your child will also feel frantic. So every day when I come into school before I give lessons, I center myself for quite a few minutes because I got to leave my baggage at the door because I realize that these guys are here to learn from me and they're absorbing everything that I teach them, including my own mannerisms and my attitude and my personal baggage is not anything they need to be concerned about. So for you guys, I know it's a trying time, but take some time to take care of yourselves before you try to sit and learn with your child because, boy, can it be frustrating. I homeschooled quite a few of mine, and boy, you want to talk about trying your patience. That was one. Just give yourself some forgiveness and a fresh start every day and take some huge breaths often. It really does make a difference. My gosh, it really, really does. But before you sit, just be sure that you're in a place that's pretty peaceful too, and that you're feeling pretty even and happy and just calm enough to give the lesson. They will pick up on it if you're not, and it'll just right over their heads. So that was just a little side note, because I do care about all of you guys too, and I really am understanding of what you're going through right now. And I know that you're all seeing the positive side of spending this time with your amazing children, but I just want you to know that I know that it's also hard, and I honor that struggle, and you've got it in you already. I just want to encourage you to make sure you're taking care of yourself as well. Okay, so good demeanor from a parent before you present it. When you do this work with your child, you can use 45 of any object. I wouldn't go with like bowling balls or anything huge, but just make sure it's not something distracting like jingle bells, because I've made that mistake before. It could be erasers. You could use pom-poms. You could use almost anything you can put your imagination to. Because of the season, I change it out a lot. I had shamrocks. I've done hearts, over the past few months. And this is what was going to be on the shelf for the return of the school year when they came back from this outbreak. But instead, here's what we get. Please go ahead, and if you'd like to print those cards, cut them out and put them in a little basket or a tray like this. Something little, cute, And find 45 objects, 45 pennies, it doesn't matter. Make it something cute and fun that'll interest your child, but not something that will distract them like My Little Pony pieces. No toys. You want to definitely separate the idea of a toy from a work right now if you can. Okay, that was very fun. I really enjoyed sharing it with you, and I'm glad I actually got the chance to do it. Please be looking later on today for, I'm going to do a series on how to model your home in a way, how to fix it and kind of spruce it up a little bit to prepare for the next few months with your child home and learning from home in a Montessori way. That will include how to set up a learning space, how to integrate Montessori principles into your everyday routine and rooms in your home, and how to delineate special work time from regular work time, or playtime from work time, or Montessori school time from family time, or all of it can be meshed in some ways, but sometimes you have to make a strict line there and keep it. And I want to help you guys help your children realize that what they're doing at home, even though it's on a computer, even though I'm not there, it is still important. It's still their work, and I'm hoping that they can give it the attention that it deserves and that they deserve as well, because man, these kids are doing great. This is not in any way going to have them dropping a ball in any way. I do believe that each and every one of them can pick up and actually come out of this far, far more improved than a lot of people think. It is challenging to put Montessori online, but it is doable. We're doing it, darn it. So again, you guys, thanks for watching. This is Cards Encounters. You'll see me present it a little differently, probably because the Zoom format is so strange, on Tuesday during the morning group. And that gives you a heads up so that on Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, you can follow it up. I'll also send you a few coloring sheets, worksheets, stuff like that to follow up with as well. All right, you guys, great to talk to you today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.